Yeah. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booker bugging me. Just see the bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even me that I don't want none of it. He's mad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Got me is a lazy, my posse deep in our rating. We act the fool for the paper, had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over baby. Put the bread on me, bet on my baby.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the Minnesota Vikings, led by their new quarterback Kirk Cousins, take on Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they've gone a full half season since their last loss, winners of 8 in a row.
And you don't get on win streaks like this without your defense playing a big role. They've created quite an identity, and I know they want and expect this streak to get to 9.
3 quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Now Wilson on first down. The catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On first down, Wilson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget, his main use, kick returner. He knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. It's caught right side, Dixon. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. He got 29 yards that time.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
The Vikings' top 2 receivers match up with any pair in the NFL, and I'm talking about Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs. And how about this? Both underdog success stories. Diggs, a 5th rounder in 2015. Adam Thielen, undrafted in 2014. Now they're helping set the pace for wide receivers in the league.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll run it. Here's Cook. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. From the red zone now, Cousins. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
And middle linebacker Bobby Wagner, he's playing the absolute perfect position. He's the type of guy that you build around. A cornerstone of the defense, his ability to play the run, the pass, and his leadership skills, you get the full package with him.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Mike Zimmer's made his decision, and that decision is to try and go for this thing on 4th down. Oh, and now movement and a whistle. whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. The kick by Carlson is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get them the first points of the night.
And 3 points, not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road. You're under the lights. National television audience. This is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real. And a pretty nice opening statement.
This will be taken short. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Play action. Now Wilson. And the tight end Dixon left side. And running with power here. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story. Night.
Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you can tell by this team, all right? Anytime you can tell your offense, hey, just get us a couple touchdowns. We got this thing locked down. That's when you know you're playing well and you're carrying your team along.
Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. He hits Baldwin right side. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. 1 quarter down here on a frigid December night. 3-0 is our score. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got a decision to make here on 4th down and 2. And the first play will be a field goal try. This from 54 yards away. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, you're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
Cousins now on second down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. First grab so far for Diggs. It's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They go play action here on first down. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Cousins on first down. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Eluding the pressure right. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Bobby Wagner able to run him down for a loss of a yard.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Cousins from the gun on third. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Wilson to throw. And he's got a man open. That's Marshall. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. Penny, a first down carry. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On second down, here's Wilson. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're going to have a third down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
The Seahawks on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Leaves it for Penny. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. Flushed out right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A first down throw for Cousins. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Cousins now to throw on first down. Flush to his right. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. First down, here's Cousins. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. And you know everybody on his side happy to see him back out there after that broken ankle.
They start the rehab process right away when you have that type of an injury. It's fantastic to see him back out on the field.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. A second down throw for Cousins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Carlson able to put this one through. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the score line. 16-13, your final score. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Denver Broncos. Case Keenum, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world. See what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And it was the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars that go home with the victory. D.D. Westbrook, well over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. Out to kick is Janikowski. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Now Cook. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half, of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The Vikings on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is third down and 12. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. The former first-rounder, Barkevious Mingo. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now Wilson back into his end zone. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And what else could go wrong at this point? This is going to be a defensive touchdown as they keep piling it on. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Mike Zimmer's made the decision. His guys will go for 2. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. Dancing to his left. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And, boy, things switched on a dime here. The fumble recovery for the touchdown and also a 2-point try on top successful.
That feels like a momentum call. Pick it up on a fumble return, take it the other way for a touchdown. That's demoralizing for a team to have it happen against them. So the offense just says, you know something? Let's add to it. Pile on top, go for 2 now while their heads are down.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he spins through. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it. But you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Move 15.
A 2nd down carry for Procise. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson. And Dixon over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little jump.
Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Following the interception, Cousins. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Cook. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Second down, Cousins. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook, and a great grab on the other end. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
How many times do we hear that 3rd down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the 1st down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key 1st down.
And he is down deep into Seattle territory. That one good for 33 and a 1st.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. From the red zone now, Cousins. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Morgan. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. The Vikings on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. Cousins now. And it's caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Now they'll run. Murray. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Latavius Murray, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it culminates with a Latavius Murray touchdown run. Carlson now to kick this one away. Moore now on the return. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
It's caught. Lockett. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Buying time to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. 12 more yards there and another first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? Let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a third and about 13.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now Cousins escaping the pressure right toward the sideline, and look at that catch, dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's got room. And able to work his way down to the 16. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on first down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if you picked up the first down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to make 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the first down because in college football, the clock stops with every first down and actually aids the defense in that situation.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, no, easy.
A give. This is Cook. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Throwing here, Cousins. And he's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Kirk Cousins scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken very short. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called and run it.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Anderson Aho. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Completes it to Dixon. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for Minnesota, the win moves them to 12-1 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers.